welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're digging into something pretty fundamental, aren't we? These sources, we've got to tackle those big life questions. Why are some people just thriving, joyful, successful, healthy even, while others seem stuck in misery, poverty, or illness? What causes such huge differences in how life turns out for people?
It often feels like just the luck of the draw, doesn't it? But yeah, the material we've been looking at argues pretty strongly that it's not random at all. It suggests there's a very definite principle at work, a mechanism, really. And it all comes down to how your conscious mind and, crucially, your subconscious mind operate together.
Okay, so our goal here in this deep dive is basically to fast-track understanding this. We're trying to pull out the simple, usable stuff, the techniques, the formulas these sources talk about so you can tap into this inner power. They call it the treasure house within.
That's exactly it. And the
Yeah.
central analogy they use, which is really helpful to keep in mind, is this. You're a gardener. Think of your mind as the garden, your subconscious. That's the rich, fertile soil. And your thoughts, especially your habitual thoughts, day in, day out, those are the seeds. Whatever you consistently plant there, peace, success, fear, lack, that's what the soil, the subconscious will grow and bring forth in your life. It's quite a powerful metaphor.
Right. Okay, so let's unpack that garden analogy. It depends on the mind having these two distinct levels, these two functions. First up, the conscious mind.
Yeah.
I guess that's the part we're most aware of. The thinking, analyzing part.
Exactly. It's your objective mind, the rational thinker. It's how you perceive the world through your five senses. It reasons, it judges, it analyzes options, and critically, it's meant to act as the watchman at the gate. It decides which thoughts, which ideas get allowed into the inner garden, so to speak.
And then there's the other player, the subconscious mind. This sounds like where the real power lies, but maybe it's a bit naive.
Well, naive isn't quite it, but it is different. It's subjective, irrational in the sense it doesn't reason things out logically. It's the seat of your emotions, your memories, your deep-seated habits, its core function. It simply accepts whatever the conscious mind impresses upon it, doesn't argue. It just takes the idea, good, bad, true, false, and gets to work making it real in your experience.
It's the engine room.
Okay. But if it just executes without question, does it have any sense of morality, or is it purely mechanical? How does that fit with, free will?
That's a great question. The sources frame it less as a moral agent and more like an immutable law, like a law of nature. They draw parallels to chemistry or physics. H2O always makes water. There's no negotiation. Similarly, they argue whatever belief or conviction you manage to impress deeply onto your subconscious, it has to be expressed outwardly on what they call the screen of space, meaning your health, your circumstances, the events in your life.
So the law of belief isn't about believing in something external, like a lucky charm. It's about believing in how your own mind works. Precisely. It is the law of your mind. The power isn't in the thing believed in, it's in the belief itself, held within your mind. That acceptance, that conviction within you, that's what triggers the subconscious to act. It's the command it follows.
Okay, this suggests there's this massive nonstop power working inside us then. The sources really emphasize this, the subconscious controlling heartbeat, digestion, all the vital functions, always aiming for life and health. They call it the infinite healing presence.
Yes, absolutely. It's presented as this inherent intelligence within us. There's even a striking personal account from one author about using this understanding to resolve a serious illness, a sarcoma. The logic applied was quite straightforward. The intelligence that designed and built the body must surely know how to heal it. Appeal to that power directly.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, but if it's constantly working and seeking health, how does it get twisted? How does suggestion play into this? It sounds like this amazing power could be easily hijacked.
It's definitely a double-edged sword. And yes, it's highly amenable to suggestion. Extremely so. The classic example given is seasickness. Imagine two people on a boat in rough seas. You go up to one, maybe someone already a bit anxious, and say, "Oh, you look pale, you're going to be sick." If that person accepts the suggestion, perhaps because they already fear being sick, their subconscious takes it as a command, and bingo, they feel ill. It fulfills the suggestion.
But the seasoned sailor,
You say the same thing to them, and they'll likely just laugh it off or ignore it. Why? Because their subconscious is already conditioned with the belief, the immunity, I don't get seasick. The negative suggestion conflicts with that deeper program and gets rejected.
so hang on. If I'm just going through my day, letting worries about my job or maybe negative thoughts about someone just drift into my mind, is the watchman, my conscious mind, often just asleep on the job, letting these things slip past?
That's precisely the danger highlighted. The watchman can be bypassed, especially when we're tired, emotional, or just not paying attention. And this leads to that really stark cautionary story. The one about the father. Remember, his daughter was ill, and he kept saying, intensely feeling I would give my right arm to see my daughter cured.
Oh, right. And the outcome was chilling. The daughter recovered, but soon after, he was in an accident and lost his right arm.
Exactly. The takeaway is stark. The subconscious takes your deeply felt words and beliefs literally. It doesn't get jokes. It doesn't understand context sometimes. It interpreted his desperate plea as the literal price required for the healing. It simply executed the deal he proposed in his mind.
Okay, that's sobering. So if we realize we've maybe planted some bad seeds, some weeds of fear or failure through this kind of careless thinking, how do we fix it? How do we reprogram? This is where auto-suggestion comes in, right?
Yes. Autosuggestion is the countermeasure. It's consciously and deliberately suggesting something specific and positive to yourself. It's about reconditioning. Think of the example of the young singer completely paralyzed by stage fright. Her fear had become a powerful negative autosuggestion running automatically. She consciously broke that cycle. How? By getting into a relaxed, receptive state, physically and mentally calm, and then slowly, quietly, with real feeling, repeating an affirmation multiple times a day. I sing beautifully. I am poised, serene, confident, and calm. That consistent repetition, delivered with feeling to a receptive mind, eventually overwrote the old fear program. The new belief took root.
Right, so it's not just empty words, it's the feeling and the repetition in that relaxed state. Okay, let's shift gears slightly. From fixing internal states like fear to achieving tangible goals out in the world. The sources say desire is a kind of prayer, but just wanting isn't enough. You need a clear method, and the key seems to be feeling the reality of what you want before you have it. Which brings us to the mental movie method.
Yeah, this technique is all about cultivating that feeling of expectancy. It's not just visualizing, it's feeling it as real now. The story used is about a student, I think at USC, who really wanted this specific, rather expensive traveling bag. She couldn't afford it. So instead of focusing on lack, she started to mentally picture the bag, feel its texture, imagine carrying it. She kept affirming, that bag is mine, I accept it now mentally. The crucial part was the feeling, the joy, the sense of ownership. She filled her mind with happy expectancy, and the result. Later that same day, her fiancé unexpectedly gave her that exact bag as a gift.
Wow, so it's about embodying the feeling of the wish fulfilled, not just thinking about it, but feeling it. Okay, what about more complex problems? Like say you're stuck in a messy lawsuit or a career path feels blocked, something gnawing at you. There's another technique mentioned, the Baudouin technique.
Yes, Charles Baudouin was a French psychotherapist, and this technique is specifically designed for tackling stubborn problems. The idea is to get into that very sleepy, drowsy state just before falling asleep or just upon waking up. Why? Because conscious resistance is lowest then. Then you condense the desired solution, the feeling of resolution, into a short, simple phrase, something you can easily repeat like a lullaby. The example given is a woman involved in a bitter, prolonged legal battle over a will. Her phrase became, "It is finished in divine order."
Just that. It is finished in divine order.
Just that. She repeated it gently, feeling the sense of peace and completion it implied as she drifted off to sleep each night. After doing this for, I think it was about 10 nights, she woke up one morning with this profound inner certainty that the whole thing was resolved, complete peace about it. And then, later that very morning, her lawyer called. News had come through, the opposing party had agreed to a settlement, a harmonious resolution, just as she'd affirmed.
That's incredible. The drowsy state seems key there, bypassing the argumentative conscious mind. Which brings up a good point. When it comes to something like wealth, why do those really blunt affirmations, like just saying I am wealthy, often backfire?
Great question. They often fail because, for most people saying it, the conscious mind immediately screams, "No, you're not. Look at your bank balance." Right. It creates an internal argument, a conflict between the affirmation and the current reality perceived by the conscious mind. The subconscious gets mixed signals. The solution offered is to use an affirmation that suggests progress and flow, something the conscious mind finds harder to argue with directly.
Okay, so instead of a statement of fact that might feel like a lie, what's the alternative?
The recommended phrase is something like, "By day and by night I am being prospered in all of my interests." See the difference? It implies a gradual, ongoing process. It speaks of movement, of becoming, which is harder for the rational mind to flatly deny. It bypasses that conflict.
And the underlying idea here is that real wealth isn't about the money in the bank per se.
Not fundamentally, no. The true source is seen as the infinite reservoir of ideas within your subconscious waiting to be tapped. Ideas for services, products, solutions. Your subconscious acts like a multiplier. Whatever idea you consistently deposit, be it wealth consciousness or poverty consciousness, it will multiply and return to you. Choose wisely what you deposit. Stocks and external factors are secondary to the ideas in your mind.
Okay. And moving towards success in general, not just wealth, the sources boil it down to three essential steps, like three crucial seeds for that mental garden.
That's right. First, you absolutely have to find the thing you genuinely love doing, your passion. Second, don't just dabble, specialize. Aim to become an expert, to know more about your chosen field than almost anyone else, offer unique value. And third, this is crucial. Ensure your ambition isn't purely selfish. Your work, your desire, should aim to benefit others, to serve humanity in some way.
So finding your passion and mastering it, those are maybe the engine.
Yeah.
But that third step, altruism, that's the fuel that keeps it running smoothly and powerfully, completes the circuit.
That's a perfect way to put it, yes. When your personal success also contributes to the well-being of others, you create a powerful, sustainable flow. It's about contribution, not just acquisition.
Makes sense. Okay, let's pivot to maybe the trickiest area for applying these ideas. Human relationships.
Yeah.
This is where things get emotionally charged.
Definitely. And the sources offer a really deep take on the golden rule. It's not just about actions do unto others as you would have them do unto you.
It goes deeper.
Yes, it becomes the inner golden rule. As you would want others to think about you and feel about you, you must first think and feel that way about them within your own mind.
Whoa. So my thoughts about someone else are actually seeds I'm planting in my garden that affect me first.
Exactly. If you're constantly running internal arguments, silently criticizing someone, feeling resentment, you're essentially feeding yourself mental poison. It diminishes your own vitality, your own peace, first and foremost. And then because thoughts are creative, that inner state tends to get reflected back to you in your interactions with that person.
Okay, I get the principle. But practically speaking, if someone has genuinely angered you or wronged you, just deciding to think nice thoughts about them feels, well, difficult. Almost inauthentic. How do you bridge that gap?
It's about becoming aware of your inner speech. What are the conversations you're having in your head about that person all day long? The example given is the salesman convinced his manager hated him and was blocking his success. When he examined his own mind, he realized he was constantly rehearsing arguments, criticisms, feelings of hostility towards his boss internally, all day.
So his own negative inner monologue was basically programming his subconscious to expect and experience negativity from the boss. He was creating the reaction he feared.
Precisely. The source claims that when he consciously changed his inner tune, started deliberately thinking well of his boss, mentally blessing him, imagining him, congratulating him, the external situation shifted dramatically. The tension eased, the relationship improved, and he got the promotion he wanted. The ultimate cure for conflict, according to these sources, is the realization that you are the only thinker in your universe. Another person cannot truly annoy or irritate you unless you allow their actions to trigger negative thoughts and feelings within you. You control your inner world.
That puts a lot of responsibility back on us, doesn't it?
It does. It's empowering, but also demanding. Okay, as we start to wrap this up, let's maybe crystallize the absolute core takeaways for listeners.
All right, first point, it seems. Your subconscious mind is the powerhouse. It's the source of healing, the source of all the conditions and experiences in your life. It's the treasure house.
Second, the method to unlock this power isn't complicated. It boils down to one thing: faith. And faith, in this context, simply means accepting an idea as true in your mind. That acceptance is the instruction your subconscious needs.
Got it. And the third, perhaps most actionable daily point, watch your thoughts. Every thought is a potential cause. Every condition in your life is an effect that started with a thought. Be the vigilant watchman at the gate.
Absolutely. And remember, the sources state that your future, in a way, is already present in your mind. Now it's the sum total of your habitual thinking. But critically, nothing is set in stone. It's not predetermined. Your ultimate power lies right here, right now, in your ability to choose the thoughts you focus on, the seeds you plant.
So a final thought to leave everyone with tonight. If your thoughts truly shape your destiny, if your mind is this incredible treasure house waiting for instructions, what new idea, what positive affirmation or vision of your best life are you going to choose to impress upon it, starting right now? What seed will you plant tonight?